This video is called, Can We Really Afford to Make the World a Worse Place? In many videos I have highlighted the problems in the world. I'm sure you're all well aware of most of them, and you need to start thinking about eugenics more. Now, I talk about all the philosophies that make the world a worse place. Satanism, criminality, LGBT philosophies, feminism, atheism, the philosophy of science, eugenics, etc. Alright, so some of you think that I'm wrong to talk about unattractive women the way I do. How many of you think that rich people are going to stop taking trophy wives, and the society is going to stop making it so that attractive women are disproportionately attracted to rich people, and the next level of attractive women, we'll call them the 8s and the 9s, are going to date people who do things the way the rich wants them to do it? You know, people in secret societies and privileged networks and so on. Of course, that's going to be how it is. Now, feminists, in a very selfish way, and for a very selfish reason, are trying to make it so that all women have it better than men, and definitely better than poor, handsome men. If we create a society where people such as myself, who are righteous and have God-given gifts and a strong moral standard, respectable moral will, are not respected by women who are attractive, then we are setting ourselves up to take a major fall. We are creating a world of complete misery and no hope. A world in which those who spread misery are being rewarded with attractive women, so that everyone wants to spread misery instead of take a stand for what is right. As attractive women lose respect for people such as myself, so will the rest of society. They will follow suit. It will be really bigger women who typically have a greater sex drive, who are attracted and want these poor, handsome guys or less than rich, handsome guys to prey on. When it comes to reproduction, if there's one group of people that should not be shunned by attractive women, no matter what, it should be handsome, righteous men first and foremost, and then secondly, righteous men. Because handsome, righteous men naturally would have and naturally deserve the most attractive women. And righteous men should be rewarded with attractive women, not rich, unrighteous scum. And every day I see women who don't respect me, who are attractive everywhere. Every day I see attractive women with rich scum in nice cars. Every single day. That screams to me that we are creating a world of true misery, suffering, and pain. A world in which greed, selfishness, shallowness, cowardice, materialism, conformity, evilness, and lies reign supreme. This is the world we are creating. And feminists are helping the social engineers do it by what they're doing. Stop demanding that people like me settle for unattractive women, and start demanding that the rich stop doing what they're doing and that women start rewarding righteous men. Give up your feminist agenda. Turn to true morality, or I promise you this world will go to hell. Doesn't take someone like me to see it. This is the world we're creating. And all you evolutionary psychologists and mental health, all you fucking feminist sociologists, you're helping them do it. You're putting your heads together in your little political groups, and your feminist advocate groups, your women's rights groups, and your cheerleaders and sororities, you female professors. You're all coming together to create pure misery. Stop it. You use your pussy power to destroy the world so that women might have a little bit more power. I mean, completely selfish. Stop it, stop it, stop it. And you did it to yourselves. All you women say, oh, we don't like your view on women. Change your view on women. I tell the truth. I am like God's fucking favorite newspaper reporter. I call it how I see it. Women have become lesser sex bitches instead of worthy companions for righteous men. Am I supposed to fucking lie about it? So you can destroy the world more effectively? With your hypergamy? With your greed and your complexes? I always tell people the biggest tragedy of women shunning me is the deeper implications for every righteous man in the world. If they do this to the top martial artist, the man who tries hardest for God, what the fuck does that say? Is there any excuse? No. When Jesus was around, was there any excuse to not follow him? Well, I'm a feminist bitch, I can't follow you. Well, my rich husband doesn't approve. My daddy wants me to only hang out with rich guys, and you're poor, Jesus, so I can't be seen around you. Well, I gotta conform to what the Pharisees and the Sadducees say, the Sanhedrin and them, So I can't be seen with you. There's no fucking excuse. And yes, these little ninnies will say stupid, oh, he's comparing himself to Jesus. If you have to say that, shoot yourself in the head. The world is better off without you. We don't need people who are going to miss the key points and fucking create straw men instead of address the issues. You sick little fucks. You are destroying the human race with what you are doing. The conformist rich class we have are unworthy of life. The feminists are unworthy of life. The LGBT community are unfit to live. That's why they can't reproduce. They have to turn to science because naturally the world does not want them here. They have to resort to artificial insemination and shit like that because nature does not want them. They don't want their genes on this planet. Natural selection would not allow these rich ninnies to live, nor these LGBT scum, nor these feminists, because in nature they would have been executed. They would have been forced to do it the way that people like me have laid out. Or they would have been executed as the traitors they are. That is what's natural. That is what's correct. And I guarantee you they'll hide behind, look, they're going to hide behind a feminist, nonsensical argument that goes something along the lines of, well, we're in a different age now. Yeah, an artificial age brought in by fucking artificial scum. An artificial age brought in by superficial, shallow fucking rapscallions. What's your fucking point? Means nothing. We're talking about nature, what is true. And all you esoterics must know that nature is the truth. You talk about, well, what did it mean originally? What was society? What did society mean originally? That's the truth. It meant that people like me were in charge and people like you were dying as cowards. Pussies. unworthy of the most fat, desperate, cross-eyed, retarded bitch. That is truth. That is when God created man as he was meant to be. That was man when he was one with nature. People like me ruled. And that is how it is meant to be. No matter how many inventions you come up with, how much you twist shit with politics and philosophy, it will never change the fact that Chukwuemeka is a transcendent hero. And if you shun men like me, we are doomed to die. And you will all die cowards, greedy, sniveling dogs. Even if there wasn't an afterlife, all your life would have amounted to is greed, selfishness, treachery, and betrayal. That is your legacy. The legacy of a fucking rich coward and his gold-digging, pigeon-fucking wife. Pathetic. Pathetic. I would rather be a bum raped in my ass by elephants every moment of every day for the rest of my life than leave behind a legacy of conformity, shallowness, cowardice, evilness, lies, and materialism. You fucking selfish pussies. You weaklings. Society is full of people in private clubs, political groups, and secret societies, as well as gay groups, gay rights groups, feminist groups, and so on, who spend all day reinforcing false beliefs. They reinforce it with their dress, with their behavior, with their communication. When they're on the computer, when they're on work, when they're on the road, driving a certain car with bumper stickers or whatever they do. Even just looking the way they do, they're reinforcing false beliefs to have a certain psychological effect. Quite often I've seen insecure people thinking that my challenge isn't fair to certain types of people. They bring up irrelevant things that are extremely nonsensical, and any true master martial artist would laugh about. At the Shaolin Temple, you know what they call someone who gets into a sparring match with someone, whether they're wearing gear or not, who gets outmaneuvered and struck on, and struck, rather. They're the loser for that. Now go back, figure out what you did wrong, train, get your game up, and maybe one day you can beat that guy. They don't say, well, he's taller than him, it's not fair. Or that guy's stronger than him and it's not reflected in his attack. They say, you've lost. Because martial arts is about maneuvering. It is about dexterity and agility. If someone can outmaneuver you, if someone can strike you first, you've lost. But you have all these UFC fighters who are trained to do brute force attacks. None of their attacks are precision striking. A blade and say a sword, right? It's a precision weapon, and even a warhammer or something, it requires dexterity. You can't just swing it and just any way you want and hope it for the best. You have to be able to land it. You have to be able to outmaneuver someone to a certain point. Maybe step to the left or something, dodge their swing with their sword, and then bang them on the fucking head. So it's all about maneuvering, dexterity, etc. These are extremely important principles. These are the main principles of fighting. If you cannot outmaneuver your opponent, you have lost already. All the emphasis in martial arts competitions, when it comes to true competitions that show you those 5 sets of skills I bring up all the time. And those 5 sets of skills include dexterity, agility, striking. It goes back to transferable, convertible, communicable, translatable, and universal skills. If you do not have those skills, you're not the top martial artist. Period. And whoever has the superior set of skills is the top martial artist. That's what martial arts are. Combat arts. Mars, god of war. Mantu, Egyptian god of war. Mantu arts, the foundation of martial arts, the known root of martial arts. Anything else is just speculation. The first example of martial arts, war arts. And all you esoteric people know that very well. All you secret society people know that I'm right. You know that wrestling was a form of entertainment? It was only a form of battlefield training when it came to certain principles of fucking, carrying equipment to the battlefield. It was a last resort kind of thing. For the random situation where you're not good enough to kill them before they take you down. And you see how fast I move. The thought that somebody could take me down or even get close enough to begin to grab me to take me down, before I stab them to death is laughable. It's a fucking the funniest thing you've ever heard. I'm going to stab them like 50 fucking times long before they even get anywhere near close enough or positioned enough to do that. And even taking someone down is a form of maneuvering. So when it comes to martial arts competitions, you have to consider that precision striking and deadly striking are the most important element of attacking someone in the martial arts. It's not brute force. Boxing is brute force. UFC fighting is brute force. These are branches of martial arts at best. At some point people decided, you know what? We're going to do this bare knuckle boxing, this Mediterranean boxing and what have you, Chinese boxing. We're going to limit it to, the fists. We're going to duke it out, right? But before they came up with that, people were already killing each other. Look at it biblically, right? Did Cain and Abel have some kind of sports competition? Or did fucking Cain kill Abel? So it started off with warfare, and then they took an aspect of it and said, this is a competition that has something to do with going to war with someone, but it truly doesn't show who's the best at going to war with someone naturally. It's just boxing. It's just wrestling. It's just UFC fighting. But what does? Sparring. And I've gone over this many, many times from many, many angles. People just don't get it. So when people think that mixed martial arts is the pinnacle, it is the peak, it is the essence of martial arts or something, it's an absolute fucking joke. I've seen it described by complete liars. They'll say, oh, this is a way that all martial arts compete. Fucking bullshit. Bull fucking shit. It's 100% designed to take people down to the ground and twist their arms and so on and get them to tap out. That simply doesn't happen on the battlefield. Somebody was stupid enough to fucking take you down, much less take the time to try to twist your arm until it breaks or something. They'd be sitting there as a vulnerable target for like 3-4 minutes, Not to mention, you're wasting time. Other people are chopping people down left and right, And you're sitting there for 5 minutes wrestling with somebody. You're a fucking idiot. You're a useless bastard. You're not exactly ancient Egyptian special forces. Oh, boy. So even if you manage to stay alive, you're a useless bastard on the battlefield. We're fighting a fucking war here. It's the same thing if, you're in a group and bandits attack. You're going to take the time to wrestle one to the fucking ground? Are you fucking kidding me? People are getting their heads cut off and shit, limbs cut off and shit. And you're going to sit there wrestling like a little girl, mad at her little sister. You better get the fuck up and fucking fight like a man, as the saying goes. I remember they tell the story of capoeira, right? They said a good capoeirista, will wear his all white, right? And he won't get any dirt on his uniform. Even though he's ground fighting and doing things like that, cartwheels and head spins and so on. He won't get any dirt on his uniform. Because that's for the pussies. That's for the incompetent. That's for people who aren't warriors, who are doing some kind of sports competition or entertainment. And going back to Nigeria and Biafra, right? There was wrestling matches that were entertainment. As soon as someone picks up a spear or a fucking sword, it's no longer entertainment. As soon as someone's striking and drawing blood, it's no longer entertainment. That is combat. That is what martial arts are. It's a no fucking brainer. And if somebody in Africa rose up and said, I am the top martial artist. I will give you 3,000 fucking cattle if you can beat me, and 1 calf just to show. And if he was being sabotaged by trick doctors or people, medicine men who basically use drugs to impair people, as he did it, he would be immortalized. They will be telling his story forever and ever. And Africa is the first place where martial arts were cultivated on record. The first recorded place. That's where it began. All you esoteric ninnies should know that very well. That's why your pyramid is on the back of the dollar bill. You know damn well martial artists created civilization. You know damn well that I'm right. All you alchemists and secret societies cheating me. You know damn well that I'm right. You've never, even for one moment, had a problem with my philosophies and my argument about this. Your problem has always been that it was me who had achieved this. Not that my argument was faulty. It was always that it was me who has fucking conquered this country naturally, spiritually, and has become the top martial artist. That has always been your problem. You've never made one argument that would suggest otherwise.